Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial, and today I'm super excited to bring you to a place of massive historic significance for Iowa-class battleships. Now, Libby and I have been traveling around the country finding sites that are historic to the Iowa-class battleships, places like the Taylor Test Basin where the Iowa hull model was tank tested, places like the slipways where New Jersey and Wisconsin and Illinois were being built. And now, the most important of them all, the Portofino restaurant right here in Arlington, Virginia. Why on earth is this restaurant important? Why are we here? Why did we travel all the way to Arlington, Virginia? Like, what's going on with this place? One of my favorite naval authors of all time is the analyst Hector Charles Bywater. He was World War I, potentially British spy, spying on German warships. He contributed a lot to publications like Jane's Fighting Ships, and was an analyst for my own beloved Baltimore Sun back home where I come from. He may have even been assassinated by Isoroku Yamamoto right before the attack on Pearl Harbor. That one's probably a conspiracy theory, but pretty big analyst during the interwar period. Anyway, the guy who writes the biography of Hector Charles Bywater is a guy named William Honan. Bill Honan wrote for the New York Times and wrote an article about New Jersey being reactivated. Probably came out in 1982. We'll link to the article down below. You need a New York Times subscription to read it yourself. You can also buy copies of this particular edition on eBay or things like that. But really great article about the reactivation of Battleship New Jersey. And in it, he starts talking about this guy named Chuck Myers, who is an advocate for lighter fighter aircraft, like this model here on the front porch of the Portofino restaurant, and was a lobbyist for Martin Marinetta during the 1970s, at least, probably for longer than that, but definitely during the 1970s. And one of the projects that he lobbied for, if you recognize the name Chuck Myers, it's because he lobbied for the New Jersey battle carrier configuration in the 1970s. Remember, this is a time where the US Navy isn't sure that they're going to be building more large nuclear supercarriers like the Nimitz class. They had 2 at this point. It was unclear if more were going to be authorized. The various sea-controlled light carriers that had been in design in the 60s and 70s are all canceled during the Carter-era austerity period. So Chuck Myers comes out and he says, you can put light strike fighters on this battleship, you can put missiles on this battleship, she'll still have her 2 forward gun turrets. Like, it's an asset we already have, so it'll be relatively cheap and quick to reactivate. And he starts lobbying all over the place throughout the 1970s. President Carter himself gets involved and stops the process from happening, but then Reagan runs on the idea of building a 600-ship Navy. He selects John Lehman as his Secretary of the Navy, and according to Lehman, quoted in this article, every time he went to a politician on Capitol Hill about reactivating New Jersey and then the other Iowa-class battleships, he said that somebody had been there before him, and that person was Chuck Myers. So why on earth are we standing here at the Portofino restaurant? Well, that is because when Chuck Myers was lobbying, this was the place he brought people. Arlington, Virginia is right outside of Washington, D.C. I could probably hit the Pentagon with a stone right now if I wasn't afraid of being shot by Marines for doing it. Like, we are that close. So all of those admirals, those decision makers, those congressmen are right here. He could bring them out to lunch. The article says that he brought Captain Fogarty to lunch here when Captain Fogarty was in D.C. during the reactivation process of New Jersey. And he even brought William Honan to lunch here when Honan was interviewing him for the article. So we are here to check out this restaurant where all of the groundwork for bringing back the Iowa-class battleships was done. Portofino was first opened in 1970 and is still in operation today. We're super excited to check it out. What are some other sites of historic significance to Iowa-class battleships that we need to make pilgrimages to? We've been to Long Beach, we've been to Pearl Harbor, we've been to the Taylor Test Basin. Let us know in the comment section down below. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. And there's a link in the description below if you'd like to donate to support us. You can also support us by liking, sharing, subscribing so more people find out about the museum and our channel. Thanks for watching.